a singer, songwriter, actress. I started in music, creating a group called Rich Girl.
Okay.
We toured with Beyonce, we were signed to Jive, and then once the group disbanded, I created my own label, Brave New World, and decided to really just embark upon a solo journey. I then did R&B Divas LA, and now am just excited to be sharing my new single, You Tried It. I didn't know that I could sing. I had no clue. I really stumbled into music listening to Tupac. And I fell in love with just his melodic way of telling stories, and that's how I started doing spoken word and rapping. And then it wasn't until I turned one of my spoken word pieces into a song that I was like, oh my gosh, I can sing. Yeah, and then I did Making of the Band. That was my first step into saying, okay, I can sing, let me go develop this. And I tried out for Making of the Band and with Puff Daddy, and I made it into the house. I didn't further go into the house because I didn't want to sign that contract, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
There's a lot of behind the scenes that goes on in groups. There was no lack of sisterhood between us. Those are still my girls. Shout out to 7th Streeter, she was in my group. Lindriette, who now goes by Crystal, she's in June's Diary, and she tours with Escape. So we encourage each other, we still root for one another, but it was just a lot of politics outside of the group that kind of affected our short-lived experience together. I mean, for us in particular, I've been blessed to have the experience of having a huge machine behind us, being signed to RCA and to Jive and to Columbia. I've had the experience of knowing what that feels like as an artist. Every artist thinks that we want to be signed to like a major deal because of the money that they're able to supply the career with. Now, having experienced that and now owning my own label, I absolutely love and enjoy being in control. The fact that I don't have to go through 50 different channels just to figure out if my song can go out or not, or be heard or not. So for me, each one has its pros and cons, but I like being an owner of my own label. I enjoy the responsibilities that come with that. It helps me as a woman. For me, it's an awesome experience. For me, though, I have more of a hip-hop ear.
Okay.
I love Slum Village, Kendrick Lamar, Common, Tupac, Big. Anything that sounds, I love melodic hip-hop. I love hip-hop that really tells a story. And that's really my go-to. I just actually wrapped my first leading film, which I'm super excited about. We actually shot that in DC. Lisa Ray plays my mother. It's a romantic comedy. Kim Whitley is in it. She plays my auntie. Charles Malik Whitfield. The cast is amazing, and it was just an awesome experience to finally lead a film. I've had many stints in acting. I was in the TLC biopic. Even reality TV requires some sort of acting, being on R&B Divas. But this was definitely an honor. That was a lot of fun. I think Little Mama is an incredible actress. Actually, all three of the actresses that played each of the main characters are super talented. But just to see her growth, also from being, a rapper, but an artist going into acting, I thought was very inspiring. Like, I have 16 brothers and sisters. I come from girl groups. So me, I'm all about women collaborating, women empowering one another. You couldn't pay me to come out of character like that. Home, first word that comes to mind is just peace. It's peaceful despite however Baltimore is plagued in the media. However, people might have their own just ideologies of what Baltimore represents. To me, it's peaceful, it's love. I love it. It's my city, it's my home. I was honored to be the first woman of color to represent Baltimore in their Might Be More campaign for 5 years. And for me, just to be the face of Baltimore was just an honor because I take pride in my city. Yeah, You Tried It. It's my newest single, and it's on iTunes, it's on Spotify. The video obviously is out. But for me, it was just a record about I was in a place where I was just ready to stand up for myself. I was in a relationship, and a lot of times women will be in something and we'll use time as an excuse to stay in it, although we know genuinely our spirit we're not happy.
Right.
So then it just hit me like a ton of bricks one day, and I was like, why am I staying here again? Like, I do have a choice in this. And it was just as simple as that. Like, okay, you tried it. You just tried the wrong one. I love women. I love to see us strong. I love to see us united. And for me, that is how I'm able to give that. I went back to school before I did this particular album and studied sports and science so that I could truly understand the science behind what it takes to lose weight. Most people are like, oh, just eat healthy and do this and that, but there really is a science behind it, and I really wanted to understand and be able to share that. So I did that, and then I became certified and licensed, and now I have a plethora of beautiful women that I'm helping to transform their lives, and I love it. It's like the greatest reward. I don't diet. I make sure my clients don't diet. I put us in the mind frame of just making smarter choices. So as opposed to, I don't know, but as opposed to having X, I'll have Y, but they might still be in the same family, if that makes sense. So it's just about making smarter choices, or even portion sizes. Maybe I do want X, maybe I do want a slice of pizza. I'm just not gonna eat the whole thing like I used to, because I can eat. Now I'll just cut my slice and be content, but it's just about making smarter choices. That's what I, try to tell my clients, to make it a lifestyle as opposed to a diet. A diet, you want to just do it quickly, get it over with, and then once it works, you go back to your old ways. For me, it's about transforming bad habits so that they don't have to hinder the process. I'm such a hands-on trainer. Like I love being able to see, to do it with, but I actually am in the works of creating a virtual video, and I'm just putting on, I guess you could say, like the last minute touches to make sure that it's just as strong as I want it to be. I couldn't have a song about a one more time love if I didn't know who I was. The type to demand a certain respect of her man, honesty, integrity, trust. See, real love can't be achieved if you don't love yourself first. And I ain't talking about that fickle love that wavers on Monday but is strong on Friday after we liquored up love, after we hit the club love, after we hit the bud love. I'm talking that sober love, that straight up soldier love, that world can't define me, Satan get behind me type of love. The love that got you really feeling yourself because you know where you going. And anyone that don't believe in your love ain't stopping you from sowing what you're destined to reap. The Almighty already knowing who and what we're destined to be, preparing to make us the kings and queens of many lands, but instead, we rather go find love on Instagram, uploading pictures as if the gifts he's given us don't measure up to the opinions of man, so we check with them first, weighing and measuring our worth, seeking validation from people that didn't love us before or after birth, leaving us depressed, doubtful, and hurt. Stop laying a glass ceiling over your net worth and love yourself first.